In today's episode, I interviewed Joseph Woodbury from Neighbor.com. They're basically the Airbnb for storage. Check it out.
So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self-Storage Show. Hi everyone, this is Jim Ross from the Self-Storage Show. Today's episode, we're going to do another storage spotlight. I got Joseph Woodbury on the line from Neighbor.com. How's it going, Joseph?
Good, Jim. How you doing?
Not too bad. It's finally, we're both here in Utah, so it's finally sunshiny. Imagine that. No more rain, so I'm in a good mood. It's all good. Uh,
Yeah,
anyways,
peak self storage season too.
yeah, that's always good. It's so funny. You get some owners who are like, "Oh my gosh, rentals have been so down or leveled out." I'm like, well, that's winter for you. And once spring and summer hits, it's like you wave your magic wand and you can do no wrong. I'm like, yep, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just want to kind of just start off the boat here. I don't know, Neighbor's kind of a newer thing out there. At least that's kind of new on my radar. So I guess tell us a little bit about yourself first of all, and then what Neighbor is.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm the founder and CEO of Neighbor.com along with two other co-founders. We actually went to school together. I went to school with my co-founder Preston at BYU here at a local university in Utah, and our third co-founder was also here in Utah at the University of Utah. And we started Neighbor about 2 years ago now, in 2017. And, really what Neighbor is in a nutshell is it's a marketplace for storage. So we wanted to make it easy on the renters so that they could have a great experience and find all of the storage options available to them, including, and this is where we've kind of innovated in the industry, we allow homeowners to list an empty basement, an RV pad on the side of their home, a garage on our space. So our renters, not only can they get on and rent a traditional self-storage unit, and we work closely with traditional self-storage companies to help promote their unoccupied space, but also our renters have the option of taking a look at more non-traditional spaces where they could potentially save money. A lot of our non-traditional spaces are about half the cost of what you expect from a traditional self-storage option. So that's what Neighbor does, and we started here in Utah, but it quickly expanded around the United States.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking earlier. It sounds so funny. It's like Utah. I don't know what's in the water out here, but there's always so many different things related to storage that start in Utah. I don't, I don't get it, but hey, it's cool. I'll take it. It's
Because we've got you here.
yeah. See, exactly. Yeah, it's. I'll keep the
In the
ball
market.
rolling. It's pretty funny. So no, I mean, just kind of hearing you talk about this, and quite frankly, I didn't want to know quite much about it until I got you on the line. So I'm kind of a blank slate here too. But I don't know, it kind of sounds like it's I don't know if it's I'm pretty sure you guys get this analogy all the time, but like an Airbnb for like what it is for the hotels, you're kind of like doing an Airbnb for storage. Is that kind of a good analogy?
That's absolutely right, and a lot of we get written about all the time in news publications. Some people do write ups on us, and they love that. They always are calling us the Airbnb of storage. So and we'll take it. We like that description.
Well, I mean, it definitely kind of conveys because everyone knows what that is, so it definitely conveys what that part of the service is. So that's no, that's really unique. I guess you probably people call it like a disruptor of the industry. I'm sure you've heard that kind of term and stuff before too, but this is no very unique. Again, I'm in the traditional kind of storage arena as far as everything I've done in the past, but this sounds like it could be at least another option as far as for the storage customer, looking for that. So, um, huh, that's really cool. Did you guys start off that way with Airbnb and then kind of branch out to do the Also market the traditional storage as well?
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay,
we started with these residential spaces, and
gotcha.
we're amazed at kind of how many people wanted to rent out areas in their home, and
Huh.
how willing renters were to store in those spaces. And we got to become, in our home market of Utah, we started to become kind of a more of a household storage name.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of storage facilities that were approaching us and saying, hey, I want to list my units on your site. And we thought about it, and we had a couple people that were persistent enough that we said, okay, let's try this. And it worked so well for those storage facilities that it's actually a large part of our business now, because you have these storage facilities that uh, they're really feeling like, especially these smaller, you know, one, two, three, up to five
Yeah.
facilities
The mom
where
and pops.
they feel like
Yeah.
they can't compete, in the online marketing with some of the bigger storage players that are outbidding them. So we can take them and we can onboard them and provide a process where we get their units filled. And since we're already spending on these channels and we have a team of experts, we can actually add them and in bulk kind of operate together to get their spaces filled. And for our renters,
Hmm.
it actually ended up providing a benefit because our renters could get on our site. We already had a lot of renter demand, and now they can see all the options. They can see a traditional facility with all the amenities that they offer, and they can also see these other alternative spaces. And it's really up to the renter now to decide what their preference is. And either way, we can help facilitate that transaction on Neighbor.com.
So I'm curious now, as far as like with a customer storing their stuff at a personal residence, how does that work? Like, so say if I have an empty basement here, which actually I do. I've been telling my wife for 20 years I'm going to finish our basement, but maybe next year. We'll see if that works. But so
Yeah,
say
right.
say you'll say, okay, I got an empty basement. How does it work? Like, what would I do? I go to neighbor.com and then what?
That's right. So you'll visit our website or download our app on the, if you have an iPhone or an Android, you can download it on the app stores.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get on, we'll just start asking you questions about your space because we try to make it as easy of an onboarding process as possible. We understand that someone with a basement living in outside of LA probably doesn't know what price to rent that basement for. So we'll ask you to input uh, some details about the size of the space, where it's located, and then we've built a pretty robust and complex algorithm that takes all of that data and crunches it. We have a national database of self-storage pricing. It works for every single major metro area in the nation,
Hmm.
and it will spit back at you a recommended price for that space, so you know exactly what to price it. And at the end of the day, we actually leave it up to our users to decide what they want to price their space at. So they can price it for as low as they want or as high as they want. But that recommended price that we give them, we've shown over time that if they follow our recommended price, they're 90% more likely to be rented out. So it's something you can really rely on. And then once you list your space, you can upload photos yourself, or we offer free photography services to all of our users. You can sign up for a professional photographer to come out to your space and make it look nice and prepare it for a storage renter and teach you how to be a good host. And they'll take professional photos and upload those to the site. So it's a really nice, clean experience, and we try to hold your hand the whole way. And it'll ask you, for the renter's sake, it'll ask you what amenities your space has. Maybe it's an RV pad and that's it. And you're looking to have a boat or an RV or a camper stored on your RV pad. Or maybe it's an interior space and you can list on there that you have locked doors and smoke detectors and it's climate controlled. We work with you to determine what features will help your space sell.
Huh. That's very interesting. So yeah, so you list that, and then someone, of course, says, "Hey, I want to store my stuff at your place." Do you guys handle like a contract kind of a thing, or is that just up to them? How does that part of it work?
That's absolutely right. So it's our job to keep our users safe. So,
Okay.
and that's the security you have when you do go through Neighbor, is we make both parties agree to a liability agreement. It assigns out liability, and it works very much like a traditional self-storage liability agreement, where the host, of course, is liable for any gross negligence if they were to personally damage the items. But the both parties are protected in a way that's non-traditional to self-storage. So most self-storage facilities that you go to nowadays, if you want any protection beyond gross negligence, say there's a fire that burns down the facility or a flood,
Mm-hmm.
most facilities don't actually provide that protection. You're kind of on the hook as the renter. What most of them will do is recommend you go get a third-party renter's insurance policy. Sometimes they will have an in-house renter's insurance policy that they
Sure.
can offer you. And we just said, it seems like a huge pain point. What if we could completely flip the table on this and change the dynamic and make it so the renter always feels safe? And so what we did is we offer a $25,000 guarantee to all of our renters. And so when they're storing their items in your space, if there does happen to be a flood or a fire or something that's out of the control of the host's hands, then we can step in and cover that, which I think is a really cool innovation in the storage space, that renters can just feel protected no matter what. And then in our host, we actually have a similar guarantee. You may have heard of, you mentioned Airbnb's, model. They actually have $1 million guarantee for their hosts that are renting out their homes.
Oh, really? Okay.
We took that and we did one better. So we offer a $2 million guarantee to all of our hosts.
Huh.
So if you list your home on Neighbor, say Jim, you were to list your basement that you mentioned, then or say you were to list your garage and someone's backing in a boat to store in your garage and they clip the side of your garage, well, you're protected up to $2 million. And that protects you not only for property damage, but also for liability. If there ever happened to be a disagreement between host and renter, we can actually step in and help with the lawsuit and protect you in every way, shape, or form. Really the goal is we don't want people to even have to think about safety. We wanted to change that about the storage experience, because when you go to a traditional unit, oftentimes you're a little worried, like what happens if this gets broken into? What happens? Maybe I need to get a renter's policy. And we just wanted to take that question out of everyone's minds and make them feel safe.
Gotcha. No, that's really cool. Yeah, as you're talking here, I'm like kind of playing around on your on the website and kind of looking around places around my area, and yeah, and I see it just like you're talking about. There's traditional storage mixed in with households, and no, it's very unique concept, and that's why I would kind of recommend to anyone that's listening. It's one thing us talking about it, but yeah, just go to the site, go to the actual website, and kind of start looking around. It's very eye opening. That's why I wanted to have you on, because it is such a different, unique service for the storage industry that I don't think is on many people's radar. So, thank you for coming on. So, honestly, okay, give us the website again.
Well, yeah, the website's Neighbor.com, and you can download the app. And you mentioned the site.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing that when we're working with traditional self-storage facilities and we're coming to an agreement to help their units, that's one of the things that I think these traditional operators love about working with Neighbor, is it gives them access to state-of-the-art, tech company caliber technology. So when the storage facilities sign up on our site, all of those users that rent their spaces through our site or our app, they can actually communicate with those users through our app. It gives them an instant built-in communication service and a revenue management service. And we're in the business of technology. We're a company software engineers, and we have a team of some of the best software engineers that have come from places like Amazon and Microsoft and Domo, if you're familiar with the Utah Tech scene, and Stanford CS graduates. And so we have the ability to provide a seamless storage technology experience that a lot of the self-storage facilities we work with really love, because at the end of the day, they're not in the business of technology, so it's kind of hard to build out a team in-house to make your website look great.
Sure.
So we're kind of a way that they can outsource that, and we'll do it for them.
No, that's really cool. So yeah, so as far as people get more information, again, most of the listeners of this are going to be in the storage industry, so obviously, storage, mom and pop type places. What's the best way to get a hold of you to get some more information?
Yeah, if you're a storage facility operator, we actually have a dedicated page that you can go to. It's just storage.neighbor.com, and you can also you'll see an email on there. You can email in. My personal email, if anyone wants to personally reach out to me, is just joseph@neighbor.com. And we love working with the traditional operators, so feel free to reach out. We'll try to be helpful and see if we can add value to your facility.
Perfect. Well, good. Well, thank you for kind of enlightening me too, and educate me at the same time. So I appreciate it, Joseph.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Jim, for having us on the show.
All right. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for supporting the show. I want to let you know that we've just opened up our brand new free private Facebook group. There I'll be having some extra special content not found anywhere else. If you really want your facility to be a success in today's market, then this is going to be the place for you. You can request to join us at selfstoragecommunity.com or search for Self Storage Domination Community on Facebook.